In the year 332 BC, Alexander the Great came to the land of Phoenicia. This land is now part of modern-day Lebanon. He had already taken control of two important cities, Sidon and Byblos. These are now in the coastal area of Lebanon. He was moving fast through the lands of the Persian Empire. His goal was to defeat the Persian king Darius. To do that, he needed to control all the coast. And Tyre was the strongest city on the coast. Tyre was a rich and powerful city. It had a great navy, it had strong walls, and it stood on an island in the sea. The island was about 800 meters from the shore. The walls of Tyre were very high, over 45 meters tall. The city had been safe for many years because of the sea. Enemies had tried to attack it before, but none had won. Tyre was known as a city that could not be taken. The number of Tyrian defenders was about 30,000. Many of them were trained soldiers. Many others were armed citizens. Alexander sent a message to the people of Tyre. He wanted to enter their city and offer a gift in the temple of Melkart. Melkart was the god of Tyre. The Tyrians said no. They closed their gates and told Alexander he was not welcome. They said they were loyal to the Persian king. This made Alexander angry. He saw it as an insult and a challenge. He decided he would take the city, no matter how hard it would be. His army had around 40,000 soldiers. These men came from Macedonia and other Greek areas. The siege of Tyre began, but Alexander had a big problem. His army was on land. The city was on an island. There was no bridge. There was no way to walk to the walls. And the Tyrians had ships. They could attack from the sea. So Alexander made a bold plan. He would build a road across the water. This kind of road is called a causeway. A causeway is a road built on stone and wood that goes over water or low ground. It lets soldiers and carts move across. He called his engineers. He told his soldiers to break stones and cut trees. They began building a huge causeway. It was 60 meters wide. It was made of sand, wood, and rocks. Day after day, the soldiers worked. They dragged stones from the old city on the mainland. They threw them into the sea. Slowly, the road began to grow. It moved step by step toward the island. But the Tyrians were watching. They sent fast ships to attack the workers. They shot arrows. They dropped fire. They sent divers under the water to break the base of the causeway. The sea became a battlefield. The workers were not safe. Many were killed. The road was burned. But Alexander did not stop. He built tall towers on the causeway. The towers had wheels and could move forward. Archers and catapults stood on top. They shot back at the enemy ships. Then one night, the Tyrians sent a fire ship. They filled an old ship with dry wood oil and sulfur. They pushed it toward the towers. It hit the causeway. It exploded in fire. The towers burned. The sea lit up in flames. The fire destroyed a big part of the road. Many men died. But still, Alexander did not stop. He ordered the causeway to be rebuilt, stronger than before, wider than before. He also brought more ships. He got help from his allies, Cyprus, Arwad, Sidon. These islands and cities are now part of Cyprus and Lebanon. Now he had over 220 ships. His navy blocked both harbors of the city, the Sidonian harbor in the north and the Egyptian harbor in the south. The Tyrians were trapped. They could not bring in food or help. Alexander turned the sea into a wall. He used ships to carry towers, catapults, ballistas, battering rams. The city was under attack from all sides. Every day, the ships fired stones at the walls. Every night, soldiers worked to move the causeway closer. Divers swam under the water to weaken the city wall. The noise of war filled the air. Arrows flew. Stones crashed. Men shouted. Blood was in the water. Dead bodies floated in the waves. It was a long and hard fight. After many weeks, a small part of the south wall began to break. The stones were shaking. A hole appeared. Alexander saw his chance. He gave the order to attack. Warships moved in fast. Rams hit the wall. The hole grew bigger. Soldiers rushed through. They climbed with ladders. They jumped from ships. They ran into the city. Alexander did not just watch from behind. He led part of the assault himself. He climbed up with his men. He shouted orders. He fought with a spear in his hand. His guards stayed close to him. He was always near the front. He wanted to be the first inside the city. The Tyrians fought back. They threw fire pots. They poured boiling sand. They used spears and stones. The fight was terrible. Men screamed. Swords clashed. Arrows hit the sky. The streets became rivers of blood. But more and more Macedonian soldiers came. They took the walls. They opened the gates. The battle was lost for Tyre. At the same time, more troops came through the northern harbor. They landed from ships. They killed the guards. They joined the fight in the city. The Tyrians were surrounded. They had nowhere to run. They fought to the end. Many chose to die in battle. Others were captured. By nightfall, Tyre was finished. Alexander had won. The proud city had fallen. Over 8,000 Tyrians were killed. Around 30,000 people were taken as slaves, women and children, rich and poor. Alexander spared a few, some priests, some foreign visitors, but most were not spared. The city was burned. The temples were taken. The sea was red with blood. Alexander lost about 600 of his own men. Most of them died during the final attack. Some died during the building of the causeway. He had worked for 7 months. He had fought on land, on sea, on stone. He had done what no one thought was possible. He had taken the city that stood in the sea. He had broken its walls. He had made the land walk to the island. The causeway he built is still there today. It turned Tyre from an island into a part of the land, a scar in the sea, a reminder of what Alexander did. He showed the world that no wall was too high, no city too strong, no place beyond his reach. The siege of Tyre is one of the greatest in history. It shows the power of will, the strength of planning, the cost of war. It was not only a fight of swords, it was a fight of ideas, a fight of building, of fire, of blood. And in the end, Alexander stood on the ruins, victorious. If you are watching this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Thanks for watching.